Good evening, all, and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol-free night. And the beer we're going for tonight, we're fashionably late in the season for trying. It's from Amundsen. It's this one. It is the Santa's Cinnamon S'mores, and I think that tells you why I'm fashionably late. This one should have been had more around Christmas time, being the Santa-themed beer that it is. It was a cinnamon s'mores flavoured beer with some as typical funky Amundsen artwork on the front there, which was kindly provided by the Shallow Tree. It mentions them on the back of the can. Anyway, what can I tell you about the beer? Not a lot. It's 0.5% ABV. It's a stout. And its ingredients are listed as water, malted barley, oats, lactose, hops, yeast, aroma, and preservatives. It's interesting it's listed as aroma. With nothing else. But if you go down the language list to another one of the languages, it kind of gives you a little bit of a clue as to what the aromas might be. Now, some of them I can roughly translate. Chocolat, I imagine, could be chocolate. Marshmallow, shockingly, is marshmallow, but Kex. Trousers, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's them down there. Right down there. Have a look. That's what they are. They are chocolat, Kex, and marshmallow. There we go. Anyway, let's get it out into a glass and see what we think, shall we? We're going to pour into my favourite stout glass, which is my Titanic goblet. And see what it's all about, shall we? Here we go. The pour is dark, quite thin, which is a bit of a shame. Not producing much of a head either, from a relatively aggressive pour. But nevertheless, the beer is nice and dark, as you can see there. There is actually nothing coming through that in the lights. Let's try that one. No, nothing whatsoever. It's jet black. It looks a little murky on the roll. It's just leaving a little something on the glass it's not lacing, it's just murk. It's a whiff. Oh, okay. It's definitely got aromas. And it's definitely cakey and cinnamony. It smells very... If you're familiar with Leberkuchen, those spiced biscuits that you get at Christmas, it's got that kind of vibe going on, but with more emphasis on the cinnamon. They have more clove. This has got a lot more cinnamon. Kind of understandable given it's a cinnamon s'mores beer. Anyway, yeah, it's very aromatic stout on the nose. So it looks... The beer looks good. The head awful. The murk is unpleasant. It smells really rather good. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Body's light to medium. Carbonation is light. Kind of understandable from the pour. And that flavour... It's roasted malt, so there's plenty of that. But the dominant flavour is understandably all of that cinnamony, cakey sweetness. I'm not overly sure on this one. I'm going to be honest. I love cinnamon as a flavour. I love s'mores. Do I? No, I'm thinking cinnamon rolls. S'mores, no, I've not had those marshmallow, biscuity, chocolate things over a camp. Never had them. But this one, it's like a coffee stout with cinnamon. the marshmallow flavour addition makes sense for what you're going for. And there is that sweetness that comes in after the initial slightly bitter hit with the cinnamon punch. You then get a little bit of almost vanilla-like sweetness, and it makes sense for what they're going for. But I am not so sure cinnamon works in a beer. I've had a couple with cinnamon in now, and I'm still not entirely sure. It almost has a Coca-Cola vibe on the back end. And you'll know what I mean if you've ever tried it. That cheap Coca-Cola thing. Maybe they have cinnamon in it. I don't know. Probably not. But yes, actually, yes, it does. It does have cinnamon. And it is there. Now I can taste it. I can't forget it. I can't get rid of it. That's what it all tastes of. Coca-Cola. Cheap one. Panda Pop style stuff. And any of us Brits know exactly what I mean by the Panda Pops. Yeah, that's what it is. So, scoreboard of joy time. Or is it joy on this occasion? I'm not so sure. It's currently empty. We're going to fill it in. With the red pen of judgment, as always. Now, we start as always with the pour. And whilst the beer itself is a nice colour, there is no head to speak of. I mean, that's a fairly, I say, aggressive pour. It turned out not to be overly aggressive, but yeah, there is no head to speak of, none. Excuse me, and that's a bit disappointing. Spilled it on the board of joy. Look, yeah, it's a little disappointing visually. I like the jet black thing, love that. Hate the fact there's no head to speak of, and what there was on the initial pour didn't last very long at all. I'm gonna go down the middle on that one. Half a point for the colour, half loss for the head. The aroma, you either like it or you don't. Right? It's cinnamon, it's sweet, it's that Leberkuchen thing. I love the biscuits, I really do. I love the smell of those. I'm not so sure it works on the beer. There is something about it that isn't too bad, and that is that slightly cakey vibe that just sits underneath the spice. That kind of works. But the spice, for me, it doesn't work for me. Now, I'm going to be objective where I can and say the cakiness works. It works in as much as it delivers what it promises, right? So I'm still going to be a little bit iffy with it. I'm going to go to 0.6. The body is too thin for me, right? I know it's got the lactose in. I know it's got the did it have oats? Yes, it did have oats in it. You would expect more on the body, but this one is way too thin. And there are alcohol-free stouts that are far, far heavier than this, with carbonation that just really works. And this is on the light side. I'm going to go the 0.4. And the flavour, like I say, it delivers on what it says, in as much as there is cinnamon in there. There is a little cakey vibe in there. There is that sweetness that can be kind of construed as marshmallow. That is in there. There is a little hint of coffee in there. And then there's the unmistakable Coca-Cola Panda Pop type flavour towards the back end. It delivers on what it says. I'm still not keen on it though. So I'm going to go the 0.6 again because I like that the roasted malt that sits there. I like the little bit of coffee. The cakiness works. But the rest of it, the spice, not so much. And the finish, like I say, it's Coca-Cola. And when that fades, it's a lightly spiced cakey vibe. And on that one, the Coca-Cola thing really throws it for me. And it's not good. It's not good, no. I'm going to go the 0.3. It's the weakest bit of the beer for me because that Coca-Cola thing is really throwing me for a loop. So what we got, 1.5, 2.1, 2.4 out of 5, which is not a good score. It's below average. And that's a shame because Amundsen can make some really bloody good beer, particularly their stouts, you know, the dessert in the can range. They were superb. But this one, not for me. Not for me. So bonus points. Would I buy it again? No, I wouldn't. Simply put, the flavour just doesn't work for me. And that's the most important thing. Value for money. Again, the flavour doesn't work for me. So for me, for a beer that I don't enjoy, I'm not going to say it's value for money. And it can't obviously have the full bonus because it did not get remotely close to the full 5 out of 5. So Santa's Cinnamon S'mores from Amundsen has got 2.4 out of 5 with zilch on the bonus points. So you can't win them all, as the old saying goes. I had the impression this would be quite nice. It's not so nice. It's just not my cup of tea. It's really not. And there's not a lot more I can say about that. But if you like your spicy, biscuity, Leverkusen type flavours on a stout, then this would have been a beer for you. I doubt you can get it anymore. And to be honest, there's probably not a lot of point of reviewing it at this late stage in the year. It's end of March. But it was in my fridge. I wanted to drink it, do it, and get it out of the way. So we have done. And we're going to leave it there and say, that's been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.